Hello everybody, it's me Charlotte. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day so far today, because today I'm going to teach you guys how to crochet a corner to corner afghan or blanket or throw or baby blanket, whatever you want to make. You can make pillows, you can make a couple of these, sew them together, put a pillow form in the middle. So yeah, it's a very versatile stitch. You can do a lot with it, and it's very quick and easy once you get started. Before we get into today's video though, real quick, I want to say thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Thank you for liking and commenting and sharing my videos. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so now, and don't forget to click that bell icon when you do. That way you're notified when I upload. Also, there's links in the description below if you'd like to follow me on Facebook or join my private Facebook group. All right, let's get back to this corner to corner and what we're going to be learning today. I'm going to show you guys, obviously, how to crochet the corner to corner. I'm also going to show you guys how to change color and how to make it a square or a rectangle. It's all about increasing and decreasing, and we're going to get into all of that. Real quick though, I want to show you exactly how this works and how you're actually crocheting it. If I bring you guys in a little close here, I can show you what I'm talking about. The corner to corner is basically just made up of a bunch of blocks. It's blocks of 4 double crochet. Actually, blocks of a chain 3 and 3 double crochet that make it look like 4 double crochet. Here's what I'm talking about. Here is one block. You can see it just looks like a series of blocks that are connected on an angle. And here's our first block. You always start with 1 block, and then on round 2 or row 2, you go to 2 blocks. Row 3, you go to 3 blocks, and 4 blocks, and 5 blocks, and so on, until you get as wide as you want it to be, and then you start decreasing. So it goes really fast because you work up to the size you want, and then you start going back down, and the rows get shorter, and it takes less and less time to complete a row. So that's kind of a bonus. So that's how it works together. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it. So grab your yarn, grab your hook. Let's get started. I'm going to show you the yarn I'm working with today. Today I'm working with Lion Brand Pound of Love. A huge shout out to Lion Brand for sending me the yarn used in today's video. It's greatly appreciated. If you haven't checked out Lion Brand website, there's a link in the description below. Check it out. They have so much there to offer. They have tons of patterns, both free and paid, both crochet and knit. They have tons of yarns, different colors, much variety. Check that out if you haven't already. But today I'm using Pound of Love, and in Pound of Love you get 1,020 yards of yarn. That is a lot of yarn. A couple of these and you could probably make a blanket. Trust me, there's enough yarn to make a blanket with just probably 2 of these. What else? It's a medium. It's a acrylic 4-ply medium worsted weight yarn. It is completely washable and dryable. It calls for a 6mm hook. Today though, I'm using a 5mm or a 5.5 millimeter hook, and that's just personal preference when it comes to something like that. Something like this. If you use a hook that is bigger than what is recommended for the yarn, you're going to have bigger gaps. It's going to be much looser, bigger gaps in your work. If you use a hook that is smaller than what is recommended, your work's going to be a little bit tighter together, maybe a little stiffer, but it's all personal preference on the kind that you want, like what you're going for in the look and the feel of the material that you're making. So yeah, just a little tidbits of information, but let's get started with crocheting the corner to corner. Crocheting the corner to corner is going to start out like all crocheting videos start out with a slip knot. And if you're brand new to crochet and you don't know how to make a slip knot, I'm going to show you. You want to wrap, here I'll bring you guys in a little close, wrap your yarn twice around your finger, take this back strand, put it up front, take the strand that's not in the back, put it completely off your finger, put your hook right in that little hole, give a little tug, and there you have a slip knot. If you are brand new to crochet and you don't know how to double crochet, make a chain, single crochet, any of that, there'll be links in the description below or somewhere on the screen that'll take you to my videos showing you how to double crochet, make a chain, single crochet, all that much slower so you guys can make a corner to corner yourself. Okay, to start a corner to corner, you want to start with a chain 6. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You want to do a double crochet, 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I like to go into the spine of the chain. It's on the back of the chain. There's a spine. I go 4th chain from the hook for a double crochet. Then you have 2 left. You're going to put a double crochet in each one of those. 1, and then your last one will be right by your slip knot. It's sometimes tricky to get into. Take your time. You'll get there for our last double crochet. Now it looks like we have 4 double crochet, but we only did 3. That's because this is part of the chain that we created. We bent it over to do our 3 double crochet. Now we've made our first block. Our very first corner is complete. Our first block, we're now working on row 2 where we will make 2 blocks. And to do that, because we're still increasing, you're going to turn your work. Now you can turn it any way you want. You can turn it toward you or you can turn it away from you. I prefer turning it away from me. And you're going to chain 6. You're always going to start each round or each row with a chain of 6 while you're increasing. So we're still increasing to make our blanket bigger, so we're still going to continue each round or each row with a chain 6. So here's 1, 2, 3. And what I like to do is place my thumb and my finger on that 3rd stitch, that 3rd chain I just made, and then I continue with 4, 5, and 6, and then all I have to do is double crochet right where I was holding my stitch while I was making it, that 3rd stitch. If you don't want to do it that way, it's the 4th stitch from the hook that you're going to double crochet into. So again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what you're going to do this time is instead of just going under that hump, you're going to go under both. You're going to go under the hump and this back leg of the stitch for a double crochet. So there's 1 and you'll have 2 left, 1 and 2. You're going to put a double crochet in each one of those. There's 1. Pull some yarn out here. And then our last stitch, it's kind of right on the pivoting point of this block and the block we're currently making, and it's right here. So we're going to wrap our hook for a double crochet right into that last stitch of the chain 6 we made for a double crochet. And now it looks like we have 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we need to connect these blocks together. So how do we do that? Well, here's our first block we made, and it's going to sit, we put them together like this. That's how you're going to do it. And you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to take that 4th, the very top double crochet. It's actually the chain 3 or beginning of the chain here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to find that hole in between the top one and the one right below it. And we're going to slip stitch right into that gap or that hole. And to slip stitch, all you do is insert your hook right into that gap, bring up some working yarn, and pull it through the loop on your hook. Now, we're going to create another block. And how we do that is we chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. That's going to count as a double crochet, and then we're going to put 3 double crochet into that same gap. So here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. Okay, so here it has what looks like 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that was row 2. And you can tell by here's our 1 block for row 1, and here's 2 blocks for row 2. So since we're still increasing, what you want to do is turn your work, and I like to turn my work away from me, and you're going to chain another 6 because we're increasing. So 1, 2, and 3, and I like to hold that 3rd chain that I made and continue for 4, 5, and 6, and then I'm just going to double crochet right into that 3rd chain that I made, or if you don't want to do that, it's the 4th chain from your hook. So go in there for a double crochet, 1, and then we're going to do 2. Here's our second available stitch for 2, and then our final one that we're going to make is going to be right there before this block. It's going to be like the pivoting point between this block, and and we're gonna put a double crochet right in there. And again, we have what looks like 4 double crochet. And now we're going to connect. So to connect, again, all we do is we have this block here next to it. They kind of fold together like that. You want to find that top gap right there, and you want to slip stitch right into there, and then do a chain 3, which is going to count as a double crochet. Now we're going to put 3 more double crochet right into that same gap. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we need to connect to this block here. We have 1 block finished for this round or this row. So we need 3 because this was round 1, this was round 2, and now we're on round 3, or row 3. I keep saying round 3, I'm sorry. Row 3. So we have 1, 2, now we have to make 1 more. And all we're gonna do is connect these blocks together with a slip stitch, a chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 double crochet right in that same block, or that space. Here's 2, and here is 3. So now we have again what looks like 4 double crochet. Now, I'm gonna show you guys how to change color. And to change color, what you wanna do is right before you finish that last double crochet, let me show you. Okay, we have 1 more double crochet to finish before we finish off this row. So we're going to make our double crochet. We're gonna go through the first 2 loops, but we're not gonna finish that double crochet. We're just gonna let it sit there just like that with 2 loops on our hook. And now we're going to introduce our new color. So grab your new color like this, and what you wanna do is you don't wanna tie any knots. I mean, you can if you want. Some people prefer to make another slip knot or whatever. I don't. I just take and loop my yarn like so. Just make a loop. I put it on my hook like that, and then I just bring it, oops, I can do this. Bring it through those 2 loops that were on my hook, like that. Now it's all gonna be loosey-goosey for a minute, but we'll get it all tightened up. What you wanna do is take your working yarn, your working strain part of your yarn, and then your 2 tails, and you wanna pull your tails tight. Just give them a good tug, hold on to them tight. Take your working yarn up here, keep those tails as tight as you can, turn your work, because we're starting a new row, So turn your work, holding those tails as tight as you can, and chain 6 with your new color yarn. So 1, 2, and 3. Again, I like to hold that 3rd stitch. 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to double crochet in either the 4th chain from the hook or right where you were holding. For 1, here's 2, and 3 is going to be right there in between this blue block and this new color block we're making. I'm going to go right into there like so. Okay. Now let's deal with these loose ends here, these tail ends. I'm gonna go ahead and break my old color so it's easier to work with. Okay, so now we have our tails here. Now you have options here. You can leave them like this, they won't go anywhere, and you can just weave them in at the end. Now, I'm gonna put a border on this. I'm gonna show you guys how to do a border too in the next couple of videos. What I like to do is just tie a knot, because I get so anxious that everything is gonna fall apart. So I'm just gonna tie a knot. You don't wanna make it too tight, just a nice little knot. And then at the end, when I'm all done, I'll go back and I'll weave these little ends through. I'm not a fan of weaving at ends, but I think it looks the best and the neatest. Like I said, I'm putting a border on this so that knot will not be seen, and you weave in your ends and all should be well. So we've taken care of that. If you don't like that method, feel free to use whatever method you guys like or choose. You can crochet over your tails, whatever, but that's how I prefer to do it. Anyways, we completed this block right here. So now we're gonna go on to this block. We're gonna connect these two. And you guys know how to connect blocks by now, I would hope. But in case you don't, I'm gonna show you again. Excuse me. You're going to slip stitch. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to put 3 double crochet into that same space. Here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. Again, here's our next block. We're going to go ahead, slip stitch it together. 1, there's 3, chained my 3, and I'm going to put 3 double crochet into that same space. And our final block right here. We're going to go ahead and slip that in just like that for 1, 2, and 3. 3 more double crochet. Okay, now we've completed our color change. Row 4 has 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to turn our work. We're going to increase one more time, and I'm going to show you guys then how to start decreasing and when to make it a triangle or how to make it a rectangle or a square. Okay, turned our work. Like I said, I turned my work away from me, and you're going to chain 6 for another increase row. 3, I hold that 3rd stitch, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook or that 3rd chain that I was holding while I was making my chain, and put in 2 more double crochet down the chain we just made. Here's that final one right before our block. Okay, our work kind of wants to sit like this. We're going to attach, chain our 3, and 3 more double crochet in that same gap. And you should look like you have blocks of 4 double crochet. Again, going to find the next gap, going to slip stitch to it, chain our 3, and 3 double crochet go into this gap. Again, find our next block, slip stitch to it, chain our 3 and put 3 double crochet in there. And then here's this block. Now let's say that we don't want our blanket to grow any more this way. Like that is as long or as wide as we want our blanket to go on this way, on this side. And we want to continue growing on this side. That's why we chained our 6. But we want to stop now growing any bigger up this way. So to stop your growing and say you want to continue growing this way, that'll make a rectangle. When you stop increasing on one side but continue creasing on the other side, that will create your triangle. If you want to make a square, you would stop decreasing on this side, and then when you come back down, stop decreasing on this side. You stop decreasing at the same time. When you want to make one side longer than the other, you would stop decreasing on one side and continue increasing on this side. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we are done growing this way. We no longer want to make this any bigger than what it already is. So how we stop decreasing on a side is, let me bring you guys in close. We're going to go ahead and slip stitch like we normally do. But now we're not going to chain our 3 and continue with our 3 double crochet. We slip stitched, and now we're going to turn our work. Like I said, I turned my work away from me. And now what we want to do is, see this block that we created right here? We want to go ahead and in these stitches, see here's a stitch here, there's a stitch here, a stitch here. You want to slip stitch all the way back to this gap right there. So we slip stitched to this square. We no longer want to increase, so we're not chaining anything. We're turning our work and we're slip stitching back. There's 1, here's 2, here's 3, and then here's this gap right here. We're going to slip stitch right into that gap for 4. Now we're going to chain our 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember, we only chain 6 when we're increasing. We're no longer increasing on this side, so we slip stitched our way back right into that gap. We chained our 3, and we're going to put 3 more double crochet into that same gap. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to connect ourselves here. We're going to chain 3. oops, 2. Okay, gotta pull the yarn. We need 2 more double crochet into this little gap here. You work your way back to this side. 1, 2, and 3. Remember, each block should look like it has 4 double crochet when you make it. Ah, my camera's getting all blurry. Sorry, guys. I need a new camera. Okay. And now we're here. So we can go ahead and connect the blocks. You always have to connect your blocks together. But remember how I said we stopped increasing on this side. So we don't want our square or our rectangle to get any bigger on this side. We're gonna start moving it down like this. We wanna continue making it bigger on this side because we wanna make a rectangle. So we would continue increasing this way. So you would do your chain 3, your 3 double crochet, turn your work, chain your 6 because you're still increasing on this side. That's if you want to make a rectangle. If you want to make just a square, since I stopped increasing over here, I'm going to stop increasing over here. So as you can see, we started with our 1 block for row 1. We have 2 blocks for row 2. We have 3 blocks for row 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks for row 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 blocks because we started decreasing. So to make it a square, we stop increasing at the same time. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. I want to make this clear. So one more time and then I'm done, I promise. To make a rectangle, you stop increasing on one side, you continue increasing on the other. To make a square, to make a rectangle, you stop increasing on one side, you continue increasing on the other. To make a square, you stop increasing on both sides. I probably said that wrong. I'm so sorry. Okay, anyways, so I stopped decreasing on this side, I'm gonna stop decreasing here. That's to make a square. So I would just connect to this last little block here, turn my work, and slip stitch back. To make a rectangle, I stop decreasing over here, I'm going to continue increasing here. So I would chain my 3 and put 3 more double crochet, turn my work, chain 6, do all that, but I'm going to make a square. So I stopped decreasing on this side, I stopped increasing on this side, I'm going to stop increasing on this side. Oh my goodness, this video just got super confusing. Please don't give it a thumbs down, please, please, please. All right. So I stopped increasing, so now I'm going to turn my work. I'm not chaining 6 because I stopped increasing, and I'm going to slip stitch my way back. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to find that gap, and I'm going to slip stitch into there. That's 4 slip stitches, and then chain your 3. And then 3 double crochet. Pull out some yarn. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to connect to my next block, chain my 3, 3 double crochet into that same gap. I'm trying to go a little faster because I'm sure you guys are probably sick of me by now. Tell you what, I hope this video is not too confusing. Okay, we're at our last little block. We're going to slip stitch together. We're not increasing anymore, so we're turning our work and we're going to slip stitch our way back. 1, 2, 3, and right into that gap for a 4th slip stitch. We're going to chain our 3. We're going to hope our yarn doesn't get too knotted here because it's just my luck. Okay, we're going to put 3 double crochet right in there. Real life problems. I don't edit them out. Okay, we have our last little block we need to connect to. We connect with a slip stitch. We're no longer increasing. So what does that mean? That means we are going to try not to make too big of a mess here with our yarn. Okay, sorry. We slip stitch to that block. We're going to turn our work and we're going to slip stitch back to the corner. And we're done. Like, believe it or not, we're done with our little square. Okay, so let me bring you guys out. That was a horrible video, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, break our yarn. Okay, we're right back to the corner. We're going to make one more stitch, bring it all the way through, pull it tight, and then you can weave in your ends. And that is how you do the corner to corner. I hope I did not confuse any of you. I'm sorry if I did. But like I said, then you can weave in all your ends, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to put a border on this in a video coming up here shortly. But yeah, that's how you do the corner to corner. Remember, if you want to do a rectangle, you stop decreasing on one side, or you stop, okay. If you wanna do a rectangle, guys, stop increasing on one side, continue increasing on the other. If you want to make a square, you stop increasing on one side and you stop increasing on the other. You stop increasing at the same time on both sides. Can I make that any more confusing? I probably did. Anyway, guys, I still hope you like this video regardless of the confusion. If you did, I mean, by a miracle, you still like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I promise not all my videos are this confusing. Please do so now, and don't forget to click the bell icon when you do. That way you'll be notified when I upload. Also, links are in the description below if you want to follow me on Facebook or join my private Facebook group. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it today. That's the corner to corner stitch. Hope I didn't make it too confusing. I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for making my channel what it is. Super grateful for that. But until next time, I hope you guys all have a super wonderful, fabulous day, and happy crocheting. Bye.